Chairman, members of the board, let me thank show you if I get this right here. There we go. An update to the our new tech network program we had voted on a while back. First of all, 2 years ago we started our Vision 2020 program, and in our Vision 2020 program, you can go to the next slide, that's best. Okay, we had 3 parts that people remember. We talked about the one-to-one initiative in our Vision 2020 plan. We talked about the early college scholar program in the Vision 2020 plan. And then we talked about the new tech network. Well, we've accomplished, or we're in the process of accomplishing the one-to-one program. Now, we've got about 7 to 8 students involved in the early college scholar program. And the third part, the third prong of our Vision 2020 program was the new tech network. And so tonight, I'd like to speak to where we are currently with the new tech network. So if you'll go to the next 2 pages. One more. There we go. We have, when the board approved the location of the new tech network to Alleghany High School in March of 2017, we began immediately meeting with the staff of the high school to discuss the implementation plan. And so in April and in early May, we met with the high school staff, a variety of staff, to talk about the implementation of the new tech network. We currently have started our meetings again, and I'll review what we've done. You can see it's a partnership with the new tech network to implement project-based learning at Alleghany High School. We are looking at a whole school implementation with a culminating activity of an internship and real-life experience for all students. Today I was on a phone conversation with other superintendents with one of our gubernatorial candidates. Got talking about the redesigning of high schools and also the profile of Virginia graduate. And this plays a very important role as we move forward with redesigning high schools in Virginia and looking at what the profile of Virginia graduate would look like. But so far what we've decided is that the project-based learning program shall be phased in over a 3-year period. 9th and 10th grade classes will begin during the 2018-19 school year. 11th grade classes will begin during the 2019-20 school year, and 12th grade classes will begin during the 2020-21 school year. And we chose to implement the model in 3 versus 4 because we worked with last year's 8th grade students about being enrolled in new tech in the project-based learning model, and therefore they're currently 9th graders, and we thought it was important that they have that same opportunity. All teachers, if we'll take a look at the timeline a little bit that I've provided you, back in June of 2014, way before I came to Alleghany County, Alleghany High School teachers identified the new tech program as a program to assist in moving the high school from good to great. From then through December of 2016, there were many meetings and visits to new tech network schools to evaluate the benefits of project-based learning and the new tech network program. Those meetings were attended by staff, by teachers, by administrators, community members, and parents. Like I said, 2017 in January, our school board approved the implementation of the project, and then in 2017 in March, the school board approved the location of the new tech network program at Alleghany High School. In April of 2017, some staff visited Lakeland High School in Indiana to view a whole school implementation model of project-based learning in the new tech network program. And in April, May, as I've already said, we held meetings with high school staff to plan the redesign through the implementation. In July of 2017, Mrs. Mooseball and several staff members attended the teacher residency and new tech network annual conference and began staff development for the new tech and project-based learning. We began meeting with staff again in August of 2017. Alleghany High School leadership team, being headed by Mr. Ross, began meetings and planned the implementation of the project-based learning through the new tech network program. It's important to note that we have an entire year to plan for this to implement the program at Alleghany High School. In September through November of this year, high school staff will meet twice a month to develop a plan of implementation. Each staff member will serve on a work group. Leadership members will chair the work groups. We have 5 work groups: a curriculum, scheduling, and pathways work group. We have a communication and public relations work group. We have a staff development work group and assessment. The assessment work group is to actually assess the program to determine rubrics for success, to make sure we're getting out the program we want for our students. And then we will have a facilities and grants work group. The committees will meet. They will report back to the leadership team, and then we'll work with the leadership team to ensure we are where we are, where we want to be. The plan is to have the implementation plan completed by December 1st, 2017. If that's so, then we also have plenty of time to get ready for the implementation in the fall of 2018. On September 27th, we have a calendar, we have an agenda item to adjust our calendar. And on September 27th, Mrs. Municipal has worked out an agreement with Henry County Public Schools to take our entire Alleghany High School teaching staff and the teachers, the 8th grade teachers, to visit Magna Vista and Bassett High Schools. And we invite any board member who certainly would like to come to visit with us. It would be a great opportunity. We are currently working on a contract agreement with New Tech Network and Mr. Paul Buck. We hope to have that finished by October 1st, 2017. We need to identify between now and then a New Tech Network director. We need to identify what they call a thought person or lead teacher. We need to identify the ECHO manager, which is the student learning management system. And by the end of the first year, all teaching staff will be trained in project-based learning. And I already have one there. December 1st is the tentative plan to complete the plan of implementation. The next 3 pages, if you'll see, they're divided by years. Between January 1st, 2018 and July 31st, 2018 are the induction events. At that point, we would train all our 9th and 10th grade staff in project-based learning and working through the New Tech Network. Some of those would be on the road, we would travel. Other times, staff would come to us. What the New Tech Network does is it provides us support, staff provides us training, and it provides us a wealth of resources that our staff will be able to use. In the first year of implementation, later that year, we would train all the junior teachers of juniors, and then the second year, we would begin training the seniors until our entire staff will be trained. Now, this is not a top-down program. It's not a completely bottom-up program. And again, back in 2014, this was a program that Alleghany High School teachers identified as a program that we would like to implement at Alleghany High School. So, as administrators in the central office, we try to provide the high school guidance on where they need to go, but we're truly asking the staff in the high school to develop the individual plan. We had an opportunity last Wednesday. Mr. Paul Buck was able to come to Alleghany County. He met with the leadership team at 3 o'clock. He met with the entire staff at Alleghany High School at 4 o'clock, and then he held a small public forum for anybody in the community, parents included, to meet to talk with them. One of the important points that he introduced that night was that, in particular the staff, that the program is going to be designed by our staff and what it means to Alleghany County. And we'd be certainly happy to entertain any questions you have.
I actually do have a question. Back in May, you sent us all an email and you explained the full integration and full schools concept after visiting Lincoln High School. You said that you felt the complete school immersion model was the best fit for AHS. And there were integrated classes, non-integrated classes, career and technical classes, dual enrollment classes, and internship work opportunities. And that the project problem-based learning philosophy is integrated into every single classroom.
Correct.
Is what that's our goal. And the reason Lakeland decided to do that is because it's for all students.
Yes, ma'am.
We don't want to leave anybody out.
That's correct. So if we want our students fully engaged in their educational experience, whether it is a student involved in career tech or in the work program or going to college, those opportunities. We wanted to make sure all our students had those same opportunities. So it's important. It's a good instructional strategy for one student. Why isn't it a great strategy for all students? When you walked into, when we go visit Magna Vista, and I haven't been to Bassett, but I'm sure it's the same way. It'll probably be the same with Bassett, except you see students engage. What we saw lately wasn't just some students engage, we saw all students engage. And what was really neat is, and this is the one question I had to answer myself, because as a mathematician, sometimes I find it hard to understand how to kind of integrate. And so what we saw was, we saw a couple classes that were integrated, such as they had American history with English 11. Those were completely integrated all-year classes. But they also had problem-based learning for math classes. And so the question is, how can you implement those, the project-based or the problem-based learning in those standalone classes? And they were doing it successfully. They also integrated a new class this past year, which was geometry and geometry and art. And so, they thought it was going to be a very good class. So just think about students who struggle in geometry and the entire they're interested in art. Now they become engaged. If students become engaged and are interested, they're going to learn better. And so how that's going to look will be our model. We have the basic foundations, but the model will look depending on how our staff design it and what's important for them.
I can agree that it would be great for all students, isn't great for all teachers, or are all teachers great for it?
I think I'll go back a number of years before we got stuck on just SOLs and sending rows. I think a lot of teachers were creative. If I walk through our elementary school, we see project-based learning going on all the time. In fact, there's a great project in here today in Miss Marie's fifth grade class with science, and she's working monarch butterflies if you get a chance to go down there. And so I'm saying, yes, it's going to be a change, okay? But if we think this is important as a community and as a school division, and which I strongly do, I wasn't sure that when I first came here, if you remember. It's taken me a while, took me a while to get on board and see what was going on. But engaging our students, involving them in what they're doing, okay? And remember, this is bigger than just New Tech Network and bigger than just project-based learning. We're redesigning the high school. We're developing pathways for students to come in so they don't just get into the general education package. So they select a pathway that's going to go through project-based learning and then end up with an experience, either as an intern or a real-life experience. So yes, will it be a change for some of our staff? Yes. But I think it's a good change. When our students are active, engaged, and involved, they're going to learn better.
I'll tell you one of the things that impressed me with that meeting here was the gentleman told us that, especially with the special needs kids, they would put them who were the strongest into one of these groups, and they would maybe have less tasks. Right? But when you think about putting kids who are strong, say I have a kid on one of these projects who's strong in math, okay? I may put another kid there that is not as strong, maybe strong in reading, and they can like help each other on their strengths. And a lot of times that would improve the kids. If my buddy next to me is real good at math, and this project needs math, and I'm real good at reading, maybe we can merge together and make me better at math and make him better at reading.
One of the reasons that we feel very strongly that we need to take all the staff members to see this particular model in action. Once you see it, you have a better understanding, I believe, and there are several board members who visited either Warrior Tech or went on the executive tour and visited some schools in Indiana. Once you see it in action and you talk to kids who participate in that program and you talk to teachers who are involved in that program, there's no question about whether or not it's good for kids. And I agree completely with Mr. Kotulka when you ask the question, who is this not good for? And the answer is no one. So why would we prevent any child in our school division from having this opportunity? I truly believe it's an excellent model. It is aligned exactly with what the Virginia Board of Education is doing, particularly when it comes to the 5 Cs. and collaborating and communication and citizenship and all of those things that we hear so much about, and are being stressed to make sure that as we redesign the high school, we incorporate these things. All of it plays in perfectly. It's sort of the gathering of a perfect storm.
The other thing that is, when we go to Magna Vista, you'll get a chance to talk to the students. And the students are the ones that will convince you that the students who were unengaged, who were not happy about coming to school, suddenly they're engaged and they want to come to school for a reason. That's the overriding theme. I was concerned when we went to Magna Vista because it only involved a certain percentage. But when we went to Lakeland, we had an opportunity to meet all kinds of students. Okay, whether we're in career and tech, because I asked that question. How does career and tech plan this? How do students who are in dual enrollment plan this? How do students that are involved in the governor school program? And what it was, they were excited about what they were doing, and they were enthusiastic about coming to school and learning. And again, those were the kids were, we had access to all kids, so they weren't just fed to us. We had a chance to speak to everybody. And the other part of this is the excitement of the teachers. I think when we viewed High Tech High a year ago down at the Masonic Theater, the teachers were absolutely enthusiastic about we need to make a change to what we're currently doing. And so we're not High Tech High, it's a little bit different than High Tech High. But the enthusiasm from the teachers that we met, just incredible. And we went into an advanced biology class that was working on medicine. And it was a dual enrollment class. She'd been teaching 25 or so years. And she said it was hard at first, but she said it's the best thing that ever happened in classes. And those students were so excited in that class about what they were learning and what they were doing. They're amazing.
And their college acceptance is working on.
The other piece of this is on our team in the central office, we have a variety of people. And what I mean by that are skills. I'm an okay writer, but it takes me forever. Mr. Rice can write something in 5 minutes, but it takes me forever. If we're all working as a team, like Mr. Francis said, we emphasize our strengths, okay, and we begin to learn to work as a team. So there are a lot of skills out there that maybe not as measurable, the soft skills we talk about, that think of this, and you can go online to look at some of the new tech network presentations. But students who have that skill to do a presentation, design a project, working with their staff, working with the community, putting the research and everything together, and then do a presentation at the end in front of a group. How does that help them later on to stand up in front of that group and do that presentation as well? That's just one of the soft skills. It took me a good year to learn. When I came in here with the expectation, I thought I knew a little bit about new tech network when I was doing my research. Walked into an interesting situation, and my only question was, if it's good enough for one, why isn't it good enough for everybody? And the answer was crystal clear when we went out to Indiana. And if somebody would like to take a trip to Indiana, we'll hop in the van, we'll call over there, and it's a 10-hour trip. We'll drive on out there and spend a day and come on back. And after that, I'm a firm believer you will come back there, everybody will be excited about it.
I went to the Indiana trip, that was one of the most remarkable schools I have ever seen. I think we were talking sophomores and juniors?
You all went on that one.
I didn't go on that one.
I did.
What was it, sophomores or
I didn't go on
juniors?
that one.
You thought you was talking to adults that's in their fourth year college.
And I will tell you that when we were at the New Tech Conference this summer, they always have a student do the keynote, which is very interesting to me because you're at a national conference and there are at least 5,000 people. The first year that I attended with Mr. Persinger and some Covington representatives and Alleghany Foundation representatives, it was a young man who had just graduated from high school. Okay, that's not a real big deal. But this year, it was a child who just finished 3rd grade and a child who just finished 4th grade. And that is on YouTube, and I will be happy to send you that keynote address. I'll email it to all of you. It is phenomenal. Phenomenal. And those kids were just as comfortable on stage in front of 5,000 people as they were sitting down and having a conversation one-on-one.
And the young man who did it made some mistakes during the presentation, but he recovered, okay? And, you know, didn't come off the stage.
Didn't run away mortified.
No. You know, I did talk to a few staff at Alleghany High School, had some questions of why we didn't want to go to a school in school. And I said, it's easy for me to say because if it's good for one, it's good for all. And I recognize that the staff need great staff development. It's got to be well organized in the implementation. We did a great job with the one-to-one with Ms. Roman and Ms. Moose Hall putting the plan together, and that's the model we're following. We've got plenty of time to implement. It is not a top-down, it's not a bottom-up, it's us working together as a team and as a community. It's good for instruction. It's good for kids to be engaged, and when they're engaged, they learn. If they can choose some projects. I'll give you another example. I was at Callahan the other day, and I was talking to two either first graders, I believe they were, and they were excited. They were telling me all about sharks, okay? It had nothing to do about sharks necessarily, but what they were excited. They told me everything that they could possibly learn about sharks, but they were excited. And somewhere between elementary and high school, we start turning students off because they lose that excitement. So if we learn differently, so if we keep them engaged, they'll learn. And it may be through a JRTC course, through project-based learning. It may be something in the field of fine arts or visual arts. I just don't know. But if we can still make sure that they learn what they need to learn in the curriculum, and they're successful, I would say, let's go for it. And I don't know, you know, I had red hair when I was younger, so I get a bit feisty at times. But I don't know, when I first came here, I don't know if I was as passionate as I am about new tech as I am now. There's no question in my mind that what I heard when I first came here is the right way to go. And I think we'll do the right thing.
More works on all ages.
Yes.
Because I saw a project-based learning with the butterfly, and I saw Mr. Rice get all excited about it.
Yes. Today. So you were in her class. You went to class?
Yes, we did.
I might need to bloom into one of these days.
I like to see you fly. That's what I like to see.
Superintendent, I would ask that you set up a time that would be acceptable to board members to go to Indiana, whichever they can go to. At the time to go, I will say the one in Indiana was something else to see. Never seen nothing like that in my life. So wherever they go, wherever teachers go.
We've been invited back. The other thing, we will provide monthly updates of Premier Out until it's implemented, like we did last year with the one-to-one. And so like we continue this year. I had to wait until high school got into it and started playing. We will provide it. And we will work on a date to get everybody. If you want to go to Indiana, obviously you're invited to go to Megabus and basketball. The only thing that's awful long is spend 10 hours in the car with Mary Jane. That's all I'm going to tell you.
We had bus.
What you're saying is Mary Jane Cohen, what you're saying.